Okay, so this is Biology of Plants worksheet. It says plants are alive just like people. How do we know this? Living things all do certain things. They grow and die. They need energy and nutrients, air, and water. They produce young. They are made up of cells. They react to what is around them. So now you're going to write down three things, one, two, three things that are living. Three things that are living. Three things that are not living. So another word for this would be biotic, abiotic, living, non-living. After you do that, we'll move on to plant adaptations. Plants adapt to help them survive, live, and grow in different areas. Adaptations are special characteristics that allow a plant or animal to live in a particular place. These adaptations might make it very difficult for the plant to survive in a different place. This explains why certain plants are found in one area but not in another. You wouldn't see a cactus living in the Arctic, nor would you see lots of really tall trees living in grasslands. Here's an example. The tropical rainforest. The tropical rainforest is hot and it rains a lot. It's about 80 to 180 inches per year. This amount of water can cause problems such as helping the growth of bacteria and fungi, which could be harmful to plants. Heavy rainfall also increases the risk of flooding, soil erosion, and fast removal of nutrients and vitamins from the soil. Plants grow rapidly and quickly use up any nutrients available. This results in poor soil. The tropical rainforest is very thick with plant life. Not much sunlight is able to reach the forest floor. However, the plants at the top of the rainforest in the canopy must be able to survive 12 hours of intense sunlight every day of the year. There is a great variety of plant species in the tropical rainforest. So here you're going to write three things that makes it difficult for plants to live in the rainforest, and I underlined and italicized some of those. Tropical rainforest plant adaptations. Drip tips and waxy surfaces allow water to run off to discourage the growth of bacteria and fungi. Some plants grow on other plants to reach the sunlight. Plants have shallow roots to help capture nutrients from the top level of soil. So you're going to pick one of these plant adaptations, whether it's shallow roots, plants growing on other plants, or waxy surfaces. So you can go to image, insert from the web, you can type in plant with shallow roots or rainforest plant with waxy surface. Then you insert the image here and then explain which adaptation that picture is representing. Next section, how do plants get pollinated? People can transfer pollen from one flower to another, but most plants are pollinated without any help from people. Usually plants rely on animals or the wind to pollinate them. When animals such as bees, butterflies, moths, flies, and hummingbirds pollinate plants, it's accidental. They are not trying to pollinate the plant. Usually they are just at the plant to get food. The animals accidentally rub against the stamens and get pollen stuck all over themselves. When they move to another flower to feed, some of the pollen can rub off onto this new plant's stigma. Another way plants are pollinated is by wind. The wind picks up pollen from one plant and blows it to another. Write 5 organisms that may pollinate a flower. And I went up here and I actually underlined and bolded some of those options. So seed dispersal makes plant populations bigger. To disperse is a verb that means to spread farther. After plants have been pollinated, it will grow its own seeds inside of it. Plants have adapted some fast ways to spread their seeds to far off places so their entire species will expand. You might think people are responsible for spreading seeds, but that's not true. People plant some seeds, but most plants don't rely on people. Plants rely on animals and wind and water to scatter their seeds. So let's talk about animal dispersal. Animals disperse seeds in several ways. First, some of the plants get tangled in the fur or feather, and they are carried to new places. Other plants produce their seeds from inside fruits that get eaten by an animal. The fruit is digested by the animal, but the seed passed through the digestive tract and are dropped in other locations when the animals go to the bathroom. Some animals bury seeds, like squirrels with acorns, to save for later, but they may not return to get the seed, and that will grow into a new plant. So you're going to write 2 ways that animals disperse seeds here. And I went ahead and underlined some of those. Wind dispersal. The kind of seeds which are often moved by the wind are smaller seeds that have wings or other hair-like or feather-like structures. Plants that produce wind-blown seeds, like the dandelion, often produce lots of seeds to ensure that some of the seeds are blown to areas where the seeds can grow. Now you're going to upload an image of a wind-dispersing seed or plant. Floating in water. Many plants that live near water have seeds that can float and are carried by water. Plants living along streams and rivers have seeds that can float downstream and are carried by the water to new places. The size of the seed does not matter for whether or not a seed can float. Some very large seeds, like coconut, can float. Some small seeds also float. So now you're going to answer the question, why do you think islands have so many coconut trees on them? And then you'll be done, and make sure you turn it in.